Congratulations! I think you may have the most finalist entries, don't you? You've been several years.
This is the third time shortlisted, and obviously the first time we've won.
It's the third. Okay, I thought it might have even been fourth. But
we applied 4 times, and we were shortlisted 3 times.
Okay, yeah.
So we're persistent.
I mean, you're definitely persistent. Definitely deserve it. I think it's sort of an award in itself to be a finalist 3 times. The competition is not weak.
No, and this year there were very strong competitors.
And this sector is just growing so fast, and there are so many amazing organizations out there.
So what do you think gave you the competitive edge to be a finalist several times and to win this time?
I mean, we have a long history, and I think we've got that really strong track record. Maybe, I don't know, in the last couple of years, as an organisation, we've really emphasised not just the individual projects that we do ourselves, but how we can look at the wider system and how we can influence others, so that the solutions that we help to develop can be replicated many times over. And in that sense, I think our ability to make an impact with literally millions of people's lives is different now than it was maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Something that I've been talking with people about. By the way, CleanTechnica. So we publish 15 to 20 articles a day about clean tech, top clean tech news and analysis site in the world. But we cover the industry from many different angles. And the thing that's interesting to me is we have this 2 separate sort of issues. We have the large-scale deployment of utility-scale clean tech power plants. We have the market trackers, who are saying how many gigawatts or megawatts or whatever are in the pipeline. And then you have all these small-scale deployments that don't register like that, but actually affect so many more people, actually touch so many more individual people. I don't know. Why do you think this is the place to focus your time and attention?
Because if you think of the 1 billion people who are not connected to any form of electricity today, 85% of them live in rural areas. The solutions have to be decentralized, off-grid systems, whether it's solar or whether it's hybrid, whatever it is. That's the way to fulfill the energy needs of that 850 million people. So it's the solution of the day. Technology is advancing so fast as well. So it's another reason why now is the time. But now is the time not just for 1, 2, 3, 4 small, medium-sized enterprises. Time for those solutions to go to scale, and for governments to really embrace this as a mainstream part of energy provision for their nations.
And as I've dug into it, I've been shocked at how many organizations and small companies are involved in off-grid and solar in the developing world and microgrids. What's special about you guys that you've been able to scale to such a large degree versus hundreds of other wonderful organizations and companies?
Sure. Well, I mean, we've been around for a very long time, so
that helps.
We've essentially been the pioneers in many countries that have brought these opportunities to kind of bear. And in Nepal and Peru, for instance, we worked with the government in both countries over 2 decades ago to kind of create governmental buy-in to distributed energy. And in Eastern Africa, in Kenya in particular, we've been working on clean cooking, solar lanterns for the past 10 years before they were really a big market player, and sort of testing the waters and showing people what's possible. And also we work together with a lot of these private companies to kind of open up further doors for them. We are a charity at the end of the day. We don't make a profit and don't want to. We want to make space for others to do all the work that you're seeing now.
And can you say again right now your total deployment in history and what your target is for the next 3 to 5 years? How you see yourself growing with that?
So in the last 40 years we've been working on renewable energies, particularly for rural communities. Last year we reached 2 million people directly with our work. Almost 200,000 of those were with energy resources. Over the next few years, our aim isn't really to grow the number of people that we directly reach. Our aim is to enable more people to do that, to see our solutions and our approaches replicated many, many, many times over. More places, more communities, more people.
Excellent. So supporting the small startups and the other organizations and
supporting the small startups, persuading and encouraging government to embrace.
right. That's. I mean, is that the number one challenge for faster growth in the developing world
Well,
right now?
it's one of them. It's also about building capabilities as well, building technical capabilities. To some extent, getting governments to understand the potential of decentralized renewables that they have today, that they didn't exist 10 years ago.
Yeah, one of the other issues that we work quite a lot on is bringing in financiers to the space, because at the end of the day, the small-scale renewables companies, even the most successful ones, they all got their start with grant money. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you're working in new geographies with unknown customer bases, with uncertain policy environments, with renewables, which governments are.
There's a lot to introduce to.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And so on the financing side, what we're trying to do is really help these companies build out arguments and build out the legitimacy of the space in the eyes of the financial community. Both the donor community still needs to be kind of more heavily persuaded, but especially the commercial financiers. And one of the ways that we do that is we are working, as Paul mentioned before, there's a real community engagement kind of heart and soul of our organization that we have shown through all these micro hydro and mini grid work that we've done before, that this adds value, this adds to the bottom line. By empowering the people, by engaging with them, you're bringing in more revenues for your micro utility, and that lowers the financial risks. This improves the political palatability of these solutions as well, because there's inherent vested interests in the utilities, and politicians feel there's a risk with going with these distributed technologies that we're helping to lower as well.
And if you can name it, what would you say is the thing you need the most at this point that you can, that's possible, that you need the most that could help you to make more impact?
More people to listen and engage with the idea. I think that more than anything else, the money will enable us, and the profile gives us that extra platform.
Across the world, or are you talking about in the developing world or the developed
so
world?
Our real focus is on the developing world. So it is much in Africa, lots in Asia, and quite a bit in Latin America.
So Irina has, we covered Irina when it launched in 2012, and it was a tiny little outfit. We thought, oh, what a great idea, wonderful. And now it's grown very quickly, become a powerful player globally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same kind of focus. It seems like getting people at the table, bringing them together, telling them the story. It's cheaper, it's cost effective, it's cheaper, it's cost effective, it's cheaper. Telling that story over and over and over.
So one of the beauties for all of our talk, I think one of the beauties that practical action is a knowledge that we're also practical. So there's nothing like physically going to visit a community,
right,
to look at a mini grid and to talk.
YouTube and social media doesn't replace that.
It's at the heart of who we are, because it's about that's ultimately what. And a community that's happy is also a positive voter. It's also a strong economic participant. It's also a consumer.
Well, I think this day and age we try to take too many shortcuts. We try to say, oh, we can do this quicker if we just post it on Instagram or something like this. Yeah. And you have to actually touch people. You have to connect with people, and that's your focus. So. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Congratulations again. I was happy. I saw the finalists of Practical Actions winning this year.
Yes. Thank you so much.
It was great.
No doubt about it. So, thank you.